All eyes on Maryland this morning as Salvadorian migrant Kilmar Abrego Garcia is expected to report to an ICE facility. What this could mean for his possible deportation to Uganda.
And President Trump is vowing to stop crime in Chicago as Mayor Brandon Johnson tries to push back. We're going to be talking to some of the people directly impacted by the violence in the city.
And Democrats facing a fundraising crunch as they kick off their summer meeting today. Will the party be able to recover after seeing a huge dip in voter support? That's a question we are going to try to answer. Hey, look, America, it's a Stroh show today.
Hello.
You're watching Fox and Friends First here on a Monday morning. I am Todd Pyra.
And I'm Ashley Strohmeyer in for Carly Shimkus. First, we're going to turn to Doug Luzader, who has the latest on Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. This is all going to play out in real time in Baltimore this morning. Kilmar Abrego Garcia is expected to show up at the ICE office there just days after he was released from a Tennessee jail. He is in the country illegally, of course, and faces human smuggling charges. He's been offered a deal to be removed to Costa Rica if he pleads guilty to those charges. If he doesn't accept that offer, he could be taken to Uganda.
Uganda's on the table. We'll see. I mean, you know, DOJ's, you know, our immigration attorneys and the judges, they're all in negotiations, and we'll see what happens. But Uganda's on the table. We have an agreement with them. It's on the table, absolutely.
Now, Abrego Garcia became the focus of critics of the president's illegal immigration crackdown after he was mistakenly deported to El Salvador. The governor of Maryland, where Abrego Garcia has lived in recent years, lashed out at the president.
It's the president manipulating the fact that we have a very broken immigration system inside this country. But instead of actually doing the work that it requires to fix it, actually working in Congress to come up with a comprehensive immigration bill, the president is working to exploit the brokenness.
Now, during his time in El Salvador, Abrego Garcia was visited by Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen. You see them meeting there. He was also Van Hollen recently spoke to him virtually as well. Now, Van Hollen has been a champion for Abrego Garcia's cause, writing, "We will stay in this fight for justice and due process because if his rights are denied, the rights of everyone else are put at risk." Now, Abrego Garcia's lawyers won't say whether he is considering that Costa Rica deal, but the government says he must decide by this morning. Todd and Ashley.
Doug Luzader live for us this morning. Doug, thank you. Let's get into that question with Oversight Project President Mike Howell. Mike, what do you think will happen? Literally could happen at any moment. If it happens, we will break in and bring it to you. Does he end up taking the deal that would send him to Costa Rica, or does he basically say, go pound sand, government, I'm going to Uganda?
Yeah, good question. We'll know the answer in a couple hours here. Tom Homan's basically said, you can't stay here. You got to go home. So he can either pick Costa Rica and the warm beaches there or go over to Uganda. But he is not going to be a quote-unquote Maryland man for any longer. He never was. He's an El Salvadorian gangbanger who's been doing violence across the country here, including charges of human smuggling over in Tennessee. The country will be a lot safer in a couple hours, regardless of what he chooses.
So, I mean, hypothetically speaking, what happens if he just doesn't show up?
Well, then ICE will go and grab him. I'm sure they have eyes on him. His lawyers, if they're helping him evade ICE, I'm sure could also face some sort of prosecution, or anybody else that might be in the mix. I mean, the entire Democratic apparatus, from the highest levels of politics, including U.S. senators in Maryland, and even our own governor here in Westmore, who's really a Zohran Mamdani-type figure with a fake war record, have been standing up and thwarting the federal government and the lawful exercise of immigration enforcement the entire time. But I even think it would be too bold a step for them to help him evade. Everyone knows where he is, and we all know where he won't be pretty soon, and that is the United States of America.
Mike, even in the most judicious reading of this for the Democrats, we could say, okay, Democrats, when you were supporting this guy right at the outset, maybe we didn't have all of the information on the potential human smuggling charges. Maybe we didn't have all the information on the potential MS-13 gang affiliations. But what does it say now that even after he was charged with human smuggling, even after we have documented evidence of the potential MS-13 gang connection, that the left is still cheering him on. You saw the sound bites. And Mike, there's going to be a vigil in about an hour there in your state of Maryland supporting him. What does that say to you?
It says the mask has completely dropped. This is a major political party in the United States that has built into their DNA over decades illegal immigration as their strategy, as their voting base. That is why they fight deportation so hard, because it is their electorate. These are the people they want to amnesty and give citizenship and voting rights to, because they know they cannot convince Americans to vote for them. We've seen that over data that's pouring in, where voter registration for Democrats is absolutely plummeted. It is an existential issue for them if mass deportations actually start to begin to happen, because their future voters will not be in the country. That's why they are fighting tooth and nail for these people who are dregs, who are the absolute worst in society, like Kilmar, who has done so much damage in his time in the United States. He has no reason to be here. And the fact that a major political party has united at every level with margaritas in El Salvador, like Chris Van Hollen, to support him, has shown exactly how far this country has fallen, that we can have one of our major political parties unite behind illegal aliens. No, it should be for Americans. That's who America is for, not for El Salvadorian gangbangers that they're going to try to pretend are Maryland men like me. I find it despicable. So does most of the country. And I'm so thrilled to see in a couple hours this guy will finally be out. And I hope millions and millions more follow once the Trump deportation plan actually picks up steam. People got to realize the One Big Beautiful Bill had a lot of money. Everyone who's freaking out now doesn't know what's coming next. These numbers are going to go up drastically. There will be commas in them. It'll be into the millions.
And we're going to see what's going to happen here shortly. I want to get to this before we let you go. Over 2.6 million people signed a petition supporting the illegal migrant trucker accused of pulling an illegal U-turn and killing 3 people. So the petition read, quote, "This was a tragic accident, not a deliberate act. While accountability matters, the severity of the charges against him does not align with the circumstances of the incident. The driver has no prior record and fully cooperated with authorities." Obviously, he didn't have a prior record if he was here illegally, but I need your thoughts on this.
Yeah, it shows how bad and normalized it's become, that we have CDL licensed truck drivers who don't even speak a lick of English and can't pass the most basics of tests to drive on a road with an 18-wheeler that ends up killing people. The only difference between him and a lot of other, these people in the country is that he got caught in a vicious and terrible crime. Of course he needs to go, but the fact that millions of far-left advocates in this country are coming to support him shows the lengths that the Democrat Party has gone to instill this into basically their party line platform, that no matter the damage, they will support this type of immigration. It's going to lead for even more popular calls for an immigration moratorium. We need baseline standards in this country, like our truck drivers actually being able to speak and understand English.
It seems like a simple barrier to entry in that job, but apparently in this case it was not, and 3 people died as a result. Mike Howell, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.